Okay, so RECF and VEX Robotics are splitting up, and the whole robotics community has to decide which company to go with.
So what exactly are the differences between the two companies?
Well, for starters, RECF is a non-profit, and VEX Robotics is a business that needs to make money. They make most of their money through selling parts and field elements. And since they control the game, they control who you can buy parts from and make it so you can buy only VEX branded parts. Prices are so bad that even some teams are reconsidering if they can even play in the game. In the last 2 years, the price to buy all the electronic parts needed to make a robot has increased by nearly $200. That is insane. If both companies are telling the truth, they both have valid reasons to sue the other one. RCEF is suing VEX for $8 million, and VEX is suing RCEF for $10.3 million. Okay, then if you're curious on what Google Gemini says about this, it says that VEX blames RECF for unpaid invoices of about $10.3 million and rebate fraud and tax liability. And RCF blames VEX for withheld rebates, about $8 million in withheld rebates. Now, the reason that this could be happening is because of like money, and VEX just wants more money, apparently. And apparently there was a drone conflict between VEX and RECF, and they were trying to, RCF used third-party drones for that, and VEX wanted to use their own drone, their VEX Air, to like make more money for them. And then but RCF wanted to keep those drones open source so more people could be part of that. So there was conflict with that too. And then after RCF and VEX broke up, VEX created the GRSF, which is the Global Robotics and Science Foundation, and then they put themselves in charge of it.
Okay, so in case you didn't know this, RECF has made their own version of the game in their own rubric, and the state of Nebraska has like agreed to go with RECF's game versus VEX game, and that's gonna be splitting the robotics community could be split in half depending on where like people go and follow and what company they're gonna stay with, right?
Okay, so which company should you stay with? Because you want the company that's going to stay around and isn't just going to fall through mid-season, because then you could just lose all of your progress towards that. And, VEX could win this because VEX is like the producers of this product. They make the games, they make the parts that you use to build. But like if VEX is really trying to take over and take control of the whole system of operation and make more money, then they could potentially face heavy lawsuits and lose a lot of money to RECF. RECF holds like where the venues will be located, and they have like the relationships with volunteer event programs.
Okay, and you might be wondering if colleges are going to recognize the RECF tournament, and if you would put this on your like application record that you were part of the RECF robotics tournament, or if you like do good in the RECF robotics tournament, like are you going to get recognition for that? Or like is that going to be recognized compared to VEX Robotics World Champion,
Okay, and then Gemini says that RECF actually has the advantage because they have a scholarship portal, and in the past it was always RECF talking to those colleges and having those relationships with those colleges, and this VEX doesn't have that same application. Now, in terms of like job opportunities, RECF also wins for that because they have like networking compared to the VEX, which is just like a manufacturing company.
In the state of Nebraska, we originally all agreed on going RECF. So then we could all like compete against each other locally, which is really important for the season, is making sure you do what your state is doing locally, so you can go to competitions and get the repetitions that you need, right? And now a lot of teams are switching over to VEX in the state of Nebraska, and it's kind of splitting up. The state is kind of divided right now, and it's a lot of those big major teams that are switching over to VEX because they want the stability and they want to compete against those other teams that are in the VEX tournament. And my school district just recently switched over to VEX, and that's like about 20 teams in my school district, and so that could easily affect many other of the smaller schools that are in the state of Nebraska. And so we'll see how the Midwest plays out, but mostly the Midwest right now is leaning towards RECF, and the coastal areas are leaning towards VEX. Obviously, I mean, the underdog, it'd be cool if the underdog wins, but I don't think this is going to be an underdog story. VEX has a lot of the power here, and their game's also pretty fun, so we'll see what happens.